All right, everybody, welcome to the Spot Podcast with your hosts, Bobby-E&TonyTone.
What it do?
Today we have guest hosts, Alien Bob, and also we got Alien Alan sitting on the couch right next to me, and always the number one guest host is Godzilla.
Yeah, I think they were out partying last night.
They were. Yeah, he's sleeping on his mic, and then Bob's passed out. He got his brew between his legs over here. He don't even know if he want to drink it anymore. He's been having a bad day. We got a few things we want to talk about today. We got a new beer we're trying out today. We got Tropical Beer Hug.
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
I went ahead, I just picked it out just the way the bear looked on the box. I was like, oh man, that's a cool ass looking beer. Even if it doesn't taste good, it's like a pretty badass can to have around the house and stuff like that. Yeah. I got the variety pack though, and I want to say whenever me and my brother-in-law were tasting all three of them, we went ahead and we drank like all of them. These are like the last two out of the whole.
Really?
Yeah, we drank most of them and stuff like that.
What was it, a 12-pack?
Yeah, it was a 12-pack. But we had White Claws in the mix and a whole bunch of other stuff, which we're not sponsored by these places. We just like to talk about the things we like to talk about.
Yeah. Not as of yet. You know, we're working. You know, if they happen to see this, you know, you guys are welcome to reach out.
Definitely.
Welcome all sponsorships.
Speaking of things I like to talk about, one of the things is I wanted to bring up this new bar of soap that I had. It's actually stepping up my game, not just with the ladies, but with my wife. It's been helping out.
Okay.
I got Dr. Sasquatch soap. This is called Wood Barrel Bourbon. This is the one she loves. She picked it out for me every time she's in Walmart. Because you could pick it up at Walmart now.
Oh, they got it at Walmart now?
Yeah.
Okay, I
actually found it in the beauty section, and I thought you could only order it. But I was like, because I hate ordering stuff. Because I'm that type of person to where it's like, I want it right here and now.
Yeah.
And then I really like, this is my favorite, is the Waterfall Fresh. That one's really good if you want to give that one a smell.
Okay.
Smell that right there. And then also, this is one of my favorites too. This is called Pine Tar, and it has like a pine fresh smell. But what I really like about it is it has the oatmeal in it. So like as you're like scrubbing your body and stuff, it's like exfoliating. But I don't really care about that. I like how it's like itching my body as I'm like taking a shower, and it feels really good. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, that was when I ordered them. That was one of the best ones out of them that I used. But it was like all of them were like your skin literally feels different once you use them, but the pine tar to me stood out the most. So
what really sold it to me too is like whenever I was watching the online commercial for it, it's like you have a beard, and it's like you've seen me many a times where I'll grow a beard, shave a beard, grow a beard. The guy was just like scrubbing his beard, and there's not a lot of soaps out there to where you can just like because there was times where it's like I accidentally washed my face with soap, like just a basic like soap, and it just dried out the hair, and it's like you start getting those hair breaks and the splints and stuff, and I'm like, this beard ain't looking so gorgeous no more. So I went ahead and just shaved that shit off.
I had to learn the hard way actually. I've told this story a few times when people ask me like what made you start your beard and stuff like that, and honest to God, it was I was running late for work, and I hadn't like trimmed it up because I typically kept it like thin on the sides around the mouth. It had grew. I was supposed to do it, got lazy, didn't do it. So I was like, screw it, I'm not doing it today. And of course, anybody with beards, they trim and line up their beards themselves can attest it's time consuming. If you're meticulous about it. If you don't care, then you just go in there, you know, that's one thing. But I'm picky. I have OCD. Even when I'm cutting my clients hair, I have OCD with like blends and stuff like that. That's another story. But I was just like just lined it up real quick, and I was out the door, and that's how it started. From there on, I just left it alone. It just grew, and this was about 2016.
Dang, so it's been a minute. So you've been growing that bad boy for a while.
Yeah, 2016.
So is it continuous, or do you trim it and get it shaped like that? Because I've been trying to like, whenever I had my beard long, I was trying to get it like, I like that like side straight down into the round at the bottom.
Okay.
But the last time I was like, it was for my cousin's wedding. I'm like, all right, at my parents' house, I'm like, they got shit lighting in their bathroom and stuff like that. But I'm like, I got this. I had my little, there was another one. It's called Yeti trim, and it had this guard, and I was like using the guard, but I accidentally brought it down too low, and then it started just coming down lower and lower, and then it just got to the point to where I was just like in there, and I'm like, nah, I can't. There's no fixing it from that point. I was so upset. I look like a 12-year-old up there.
It's gotten long. Like chopped it. I just recently chopped it back in, I think towards the end of February. I took like, I didn't feel like cutting. I didn't feel like lining it up and stuff. So my cousin, she's a barber. So I went to her and I was like, just chop my beard down. She was like, are you serious? So I took like 1.5 inches off of it then. It's grew back since, but the longest it's grown was when I would wash it and I blow dried it and combed it at the same time. When I did that, my beard sat here.
So it was about 6 inches long.
Yeah, it was like, it's on one, I got a picture somewhere right after I had done that and oiled it and moisturized it. It was literally, my beard was sitting here. So if I'm sitting down like this and to go like this, like my beard would like kind of buckle. Yeah. But it got to be too much because it was like,
it was to that point to where it was too long, and it's just like
and then it takes more oil to keep it moisturized.
I know exactly, and it's like weird because I'll like, have you ever seen Whisker Wars or anything? Those guys with the huge beards and stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm just like, bro, man, because it was tough just like having like a little bit of mustache. I did want my beard, and I'm like trying to eat and stuff like that. Yeah, and then it's like you're at a restaurant and you're like, son of a bitch, there's a hair in my food, and you're looking down and you're like, is it the motherfuckers in the back or is it mine? And it's like you're second guessing it, and it's like fuck, man, and it's like it just ruined it. And then it's like you look at the waitress and you're like, there's a hair in my food, and then all of a sudden it's like she sees you with that big ass beard and she's like, really, motherfucker? Really? It's probably your ass, but we'll take it. And it's like me, I'm like, I'll pay for this shit. It's just I don't want to take that chance, you know what I mean?
The anxiety with me and the beard sometimes, if I'm out eating somewhere, is especially if it's any dish I have that has especially the biggest is like a cream, like a Alfredo sauce, like a white sauce on it. If I'm eating, the biggest anxiety of me, something has dripped and it's sitting on my beard, and so I'm sitting there the whole time I'm eating. I'm like, okay, if it's in my beard, like I'll do a quick check like this. I've even taken my phone,
video camera. Yeah, I've done the same thing.
So, I'm like, man, but that's like one of the biggest things of me is I guess you could say that. That's a con to having a beard. Yeah. If you're concerned like that, because you're always wondering, is food in my beard? Because I've seen some guys, it's food literally like sitting on their beard and it's like intertwined in the hair. I was like, you didn't think to check yourself? Do you ate? Like,
no, I understand the OCD part of it. And it's like once that happened to me one time. It happened to my cousin too, but it happened to me. And then I just started like lean back a little bit so like my face isn't over my food, and then I would be like, look at my food really fast. I'm like, all right, no hair. So if a hair does fall in there, I'm like, I know it's mine. And but yeah, that was like one of the things, but I do miss it. So I'm in the middle of where, do I want to grow it back? Do I not want to grow it back? And so it's like I'm right there with it right now.
I see you're in that the beginner stage right now. You haven't even lined it up or anything, so I know.
No,
you're at the point to where you're like,
make a decision, Tony. Make a decision. Line that shit up. You look like ridiculous, a fool.
No, it's actually because I'll do that. Like I'll say, and I can attest to it being because of my work schedule. It'll go like, I'll try to line it up, and shave my head like probably twice a week. I'll say that, but then my easier days to do it is Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'll say that, I was like, okay, I'll do it Tuesday. And Tuesday will come. When I do get home, I'm like, I'm doing something, like 2 other things to distract me. So I don't do it Tuesday. Then Wednesday when I get up or I'm at work and I think about it, I was like, man, or it's, because I wash it like every other day when I take a shower, just so I won't like take all the, because if you wash it too much, it'll just dry up and it'll like itch.
I'll take the natural oils out of it and stuff like that. So that's what one of my friends was like. He said most of the time he just washes his beard. He just soaks it in the shower. He'll just sit underneath the shower and just massage it. He said because what you want to do is just get it hydrated and stuff like that. And he said that's because sometimes even those good oils and stuff like that, over the counter oils and conditioners and shampoo, he said eventually that will start destroying your beard too. So it's like one of those things to where just every once in a while, but most of the time just hydrate it and massage the crap out of it.
What do you like when you grow yours out? What do you use to wash it?
Most of the time I just use just a lot of water, hot, like extremely hot water, and I'll just sit underneath there. And then I got this little brush. I stole it from my wife. So it's it's like this little massaging hairbrush for your head. But I started using it on my face for my beard.
Oh, stimulate
it. Just stimulate it and stuff like that, and to really like also get it in the skin in between the hair follicles and stuff. But then it's like I started using that. I was just like, I used that for a little bit, and then it's just like then my lineup got messed up, and then I haven't grown a beard out since. I'm like, So I do want to go to a barbershop though, to where they do everything. Like I want to get my hair faded again, and also the lineup and stuff. But you know,
how do you get your hair done? Like
usually I do a zero fade.
Okay, on the side.
I showed this lady one time. I was like, hey, because I mean, it was like my second time ever being in a barbershop, because usually I just buzz cut that shit myself. And then I'm like, yo, can you do a fade like this? And then she was like, oh, that's called a Philly fade. And I'm like, all right, well, she's leading me in the right direction. She probably knows. Because she said this one, I'm not good with sports at all, but she said this one basketball player, he was known for having his hair like that, and he was from Philly. Okay. So that's why they call it the Philly fade. But then I said, yo, can I get a Philly fade next time I come in there? It wasn't the same person. They were like, what the hell's a Philly fade? And then I showed her, I said this, and they were like, a zero fade? I'm like, oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, that's what I was like. Oh,
yeah, that's one of the things with cutting hair. Even with me today, like a lot of the younger kids, they've changed the name of some of the haircut name styles, the names of them. And like I know just about all of them. And I'll be like, okay. And so they'll say, I've only had like two instances like that, to where the kid has a new name. Well, the younger generation now call it a new name. And I'll be like, poop. Pull it up on Google. And I'll be like, this is what you're talking about? And
she looked at me like the stupidest person ever watched. She was like, what the hell is this guy talking about?
Yeah, it's... But yeah, you have to show me a picture like before I leave you today.
Yeah, definitely.
I've cut Kevin's hair. Kevin, as ironic as that is,
the little bit of hair that man has.
Yeah, I was like, Kevin, what you want? He was like, I just want to blend the sides.
Short on top, shorter on the side.
So yeah, just did him a little fade, a little blend around the sides and the back and stuff like that. Line his beard.
Next time I need a haircut, I'll hit you up. And then I'll let you fade my hair before we do a show and stuff like that. We'll show everybody what you got.
Yeah, that'll work. Let me know. I'll bring my, because I got my whole set. So I'll bring that and we can make it happen.
We'll hook it up in the garage really fast. I'll shower and then we'll podcast, baby.
Yeah.
But one of the other newer things that's happening right now is we got some new drops out. I know that one of the new drops, one of my favorite games, Fortnite, just dropped. I'm pretty excited about that. It actually dropped last night, was the main video, because they always have this like finale video into the new season, and then they'll go ahead and shut it down because they got to update everything. And then it's like it started updating at 3 this morning. But I was like, man, my ass ain't getting up that damn early for no video game. So I woke up at 8 o'clock to get ready to work out and stuff, and then it's like, haven't played it yet. I'm pretty excited to play it, but I already have it downloaded, so I'm ready to play that shit later today. And then, do you got any new favorite games dropping?
I just saw the trailer. They were speaking about the new Madden. And granted, when I have time, I'll either get on Madden or 2K. I still got 2K21. It goes to show you how much I play it. But those are like my two go-to. My boys are like, my sons are like, I don't even know what they're into now. But
I know I try to play the sports games with my cousins, and also whenever I was little, they loved Madden. I'm like, I don't want to play this shit. I want to play something fun. I'm like, you guys watch football and play football. Like, yo, like, let's play something else. But it's no, Madden was always cool. I used to, like, you know how you could customize a character or something?
Yeah.
I used to always, like, get a lineman character and make him, like, the fattest you could make him, 00 and everything like that. So, like, he would just roll over people. One time, I think I maxed out my guy, like, at 508 pounds. He was a monster. It was old. So, yeah, it was crazy. This was, like, an old school PlayStation. Like,
that was probably...
What is it? 98 and stuff? Early... 90s.
Yeah, about late 90s?
Yeah, late 90s. Yeah. And it's, like, you would see the slow... Now, back then it was good imaging, but the shitty imaging to where he would just like slow tackle, hit him at the shins, and then you would just see this huge blob just roll over the quarterback.
Oh man!
So I'm like, all right, let me make it fun for myself. But I used to, whenever I play 2K with my brother-in-law and my little brother, they're like, all right, I'm gonna be this character, you be this character, all right, Tony, you be this character, because they got the better character. I don't know, they're throwing names out there, and I'm just like, yeah, I don't know what y'all talking about, just give me somebody. And then they would get mad. They're like, why didn't you shoot the ball? I'm like, bruh, I don't know what I'm doing.
Oh man. So yeah, Madden, I don't see myself, I'm not one of the ones that rush out and get it.
Yeah.
But if I get it, I get it. If I download it, I download it. But as of right now, I got so much going on. But outside of Madden, and jumping over into music, because I have to touch on this. The new Kendrick drop. Kendrick hit us with, Kendrick hadn't put anything out. It's been 5 years, but when he just resurfaced, and I say resurfaced lightly, but he came out with his cousin, Baby King. Mm-hmm. And they did the, man, that's bad. I'm a hip hop head and I forgot. But they dropped that track together, hot track. And then I was like, oh, okay, there's Kendrick and he's spitting on there. Mm-hmm. But he released an EP a week ago before his album came out. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. He released an EP called The Heart Part 5. Man,
it's fire.
Ridiculous. Like Kendrick's one of those artists I put in my category of hip hop. I'm not sure how deep you are into it or if you listen to it, but in hip hop, there are artists that's on this plateau of like next level. Like Andre 3000 is up there for me. J. Cole's up there for me. Kendrick is up there for me. Mos Def, Talib Kweli, like there. And Kendrick, he's been away, was wondering where he was at, and then so he come back with The Heart Part 5. When I tell you, from the video to actually listening to the song itself, the lyrics in the song and what he's saying, it's ridiculous, man. And given like what my year started off like this year, listening to The Heart Part 5, like when it got towards the end, at the end of it, it's he's referencing Nipsey Hussle that died. When you hear that, and I've seen from several different people, when it gets to that part, everybody has gotten goosebumps. Yeah, because it's like Nipsey embodied Kendrick, and he's speaking through Kendrick. It's crazy. Like and then even the album. So to understand, you gotta have to listen to it and just sit there and like listen to it. It's deeply. One of those. And for me, I tested it to see how far it reached. Mm-hmm. Did it reach somebody that's like you wouldn't think would listen to it? And I saw a guy. I think he's a music instructor. He's a white guy. He had said he's heard of Kendrick's name, never listened to the music. He's only listened to some rap. Yeah. And he was doing something, and a buddy of his that's on vacation in Hawaii did a short vlog and was talking about it, and he was like, I gotta check this out. Then he Googled it, and he was like, it's #1 trending. I was like, let me go and see what it's about. And he listened to it, and he was like, because he sampled Marvin Gaye's song, I Want You to Love Me. So he was like, from that to Kendrick, the way he's spitting, it's ridiculous, man. Like, yeah, you got to check it out. But that's like one of the highlight drops. Of most recent that I had to get out. That EP, The Heart Part 5, and the album. Like, it's. So have you heard the whole album? Because I know it's like. It's a dual album. It's a dual album. Granted that it's so is it one of those albums that you drop in and then it's like you just hear it from track 1 all the way out and just let it play out? Because I know it's like hard to find albums like that. It's kind of like Outkast Aquemini album. Yeah, like you just put that in and you just let it go. It's story tales like throughout. It's one of those. And it's like, oh man, I was like just in the zone with listening to the music, and then it's just like the CD already played the whole CD, and it's like I'm already on track 4 again, and it's like, oh my god, yeah. I love whenever you
like get albums like that to where it's just like makes your soul fly out of your body. You're like, oh, this is my shit now. Like, and then you listen to it days on end, and then it's like, what am I gonna listen to now? And then it's like, all right, let me just throw this in here now, you know, and just like, and then you're sitting there and you don't even realize that, and you're just singing the song with them, and like, you're like, oh man, I didn't even know I knew the words like that.
Because some of the artists, I'll say Kendrick is definitely one of them that sometimes it takes you a couple listens. Like, it goes that deep, it takes you a couple listens to like hear the message in it, or understand the meaning, or be like, man, I didn't catch that before. Let me rewind. What was that bar right there? And he had one bar it's one bar on the EP of the Heart Part 5 it's ridiculous. It was
is it one of those parts to where it hits so hard to where it's like you listen to the song and then that bar hits and then you're like, let me restart the song. Let me restart the song. I want to hear it hit again. I've done that plenty of times.
It's one of those that it punches you because it's like he set it up. It rhymes, but the meaning behind it, like the meaning behind it is so true. Like, it's so true. So anybody that hasn't checked it out, I highly advise you to check out the Heart Part 5 and get Kendrick's new album, or stream Kendrick's new album, because
definitely we'll pop it in the link on the bottom of our podcast and stuff like that. Make it easy for everybody to find. No, as far as music, it's like, to be honest with you, I'm not good with artists. I'm not good with names, period. It's like, I'm just one of those people to where it's like, damn, I really like this song. And for me to figure out what song it is, I'm like, I gotta like think about the lyrics, and I'm humming it, and I'm like, shit, I forgot the lyrics, and I'm trying to Google it, and then I finally remember, and then I'll type it in there, or I'll hear it on the radio, which you shouldn't do this, but then I'll start Googling and driving at the same time, because I know I'm gonna forget that shit.
We do not advise that you
text drive, talk and drive, and Google and drive. Anything with your phone, have it linked to your car so you can just hit that button and then talk. Be safe out there. But no, it's like, I did that, shouldn't have, but it's like sometimes it gets like that, and I'm just like in my phone, pop, and I'm like, all right. Then I try to like screenshot it so I don't forget it again. And then it's like, boom, on my workout track after that.
Definitely.
But I know also, speaking of new things and stuff like that, one of the new things that just dropped this past Memorial weekend, which I haven't seen it yet, but me and my wife were a big Stranger Things fan.
Okay.
So do you watch Stranger Things?
I've been seeing the previews. I was on Netflix last night, and you know how you hover over and it shows like that clip. I was looking at that. I was like,
did you watch any of the seasons?
I haven't.
It will take you back. Like, I mean, I was born in 89, but I mean, we grew up doing a lot of late 80s stuff, early 90s stuff, and everything like that.
Okay.
Because my parents were always old school like that. And then, but it's like the early 80s of where it takes place, where Dungeons and Dragons, all that stuff. Just watch it. If you haven't watched it, watch it. I haven't watched the new season yet because I know I'm gonna binge watch that shit. It always happens. And then I'm gonna get left to where I want more. And this is the final season. They only made it a 4th season, but they always break it up. So the other season's supposed to probably drop. It usually dropped every time in like late October, like around Halloween time. So I'm waiting to close that gap a little bit so I don't have that long to wait. But my fan theory behind this whole thing is, because they're young kids, and it starts off with them playing Dungeons and Dragons.
Okay.
What if they're just telling a Dungeons and Dragons story? Because they always use Dungeons and Dragons references to like all the craziness going around. So I'm like, what if they're just playing Dungeons and Dragons still, and then you're just watching the storyteller tell the story of how it's played?
Oh, damn.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like thinking deep into it. And then I'm just like, damn, that'd be crazy. And then all of a sudden it's like they're all about to graduate high school or something, and that's how it ends. It's like you see them all getting up from the Dungeons and Dragons, and they're all about to leave for college or something.
Okay.
Something like that. Something that has to do with Dungeons and Dragons. Am I close to being right? Hell no, probably not. Probably not, but I think it's a cool fan theory.
Yeah, it is.
And that's what me and my buddies at work used to talk about with The Walking Dead and stuff like that. Whenever The Walking Dead first came out and stuff, and it was like getting to the point to where it was far in the seasons and everything, and they're like, one of the first, I'm not sure if it's the first or second episode. I think it's probably the first episode. One of the main characters gets shot, and then he's in a coma, and he wakes up, and all the zombies are around him. What if he's still in the coma, but his son's reading zombie comics to him, and then he wakes up after the season finale.
Okay.
And then it's been like so many years, and he's like, "Oh, Carl," because that's one of the kids. That's his kid's name. And then, and I'm just like, "Damn, what if it has a crazy twist?" And I'm like, always thinking like crazy twists like that and stuff. So I think that would be really cool too, or it'd be a crazy Stephen King's twist.
Yeah, Stephen King, or
he always has a crazy twist to his movies and stuff.
Him
like
and
that.
M. Night Shyamalan, if I'm pronouncing that right.
Yeah, probably not, but I'm not agreeing with you.
Him, or even Jordan Peele. Oh yeah, Jordan Peele has a new movie coming out.
What is it? It's crazy seeing Jordan Peele do the comedy he did and then making all these badass movies he does, because it's like, I would never put the two together. But he's gonna be he's the next big thing. I feel like out in Hollywood, it's like, no, we want Jordan Peele to do our movie. Like
after I saw Us, after I saw
Get Out,
then Us, I was like, yeah, it's certain producers that's like, you can tell like right off the bat that kind of but you can tell that once you see their work, it's like, oh yeah, he's gonna,
once they have that one hit, then it's like, oh hell yeah, like he's one of those people. It's like, all right, I know this is gonna be a good movie because I know who made it, and
he's taking his time. It's not like he's cranking them out like every summer or something like that. He's taking his time, planning it out, and the work behind the show.
My brother-in-law told me he was supposed to. You remember that cartoon Gargoyles? Yeah. Growing up, they would turn into statues in the daytime and become. He said he heard a rumor that he's supposed to be coming out with a movie of that show.
Really?
Like a live-action movie, which I think that would be dope, because he seems like he knows what to do with his shit. Yeah. So if he pulls that off, he would be one of my movie guys, to where it's like, all right.
Yeah, that would be dope.
And I know, and I know, what is it? James Cameron. James Cameron's another good one who made Terminator. Who made Titanic, which I read this fan theory the other day. Speaking of, like, we talking about movies and stuff. Yeah. So, Titanic, I posted it on Facebook and I shared it with a handful of my family members. They were like, "That's cool as shit." So Jack is actually Dawson, I guess that's his last name, and then I don't know, Rose, whatever. The chick that plays in there. Yeah. Remember he saved her off the back of the boat? Yeah. So he's a time traveler who actually was meant to go back and save her off the boat and change the course of time. That's why the Titanic sank and stuff like that, because he was mentioning things that was 4 years ahead of their time. Like, I want to say one of them was like Lake Michigan or something, whenever they were like, Lake Michigan wasn't even named yet or something like that. Really? Yeah. So he mentioned things that was like, so it was like, I think 1914, and he was talking about things in 1918 that was like ahead of their time. Go back. I'll link you up in it. I'll link you. It's crazy. Yeah, it's some ridiculous, crazy stuff. And I'm just like, okay, that's two. And then for the longest time, like hidden messages in movies, he talked about Nickelodeon in there. But a Nickelodeon was those machines they used to look at back in the day. You would crank it and it would do the movie screen. I didn't know. I thought he was talking. I was little, so I thought he was talking about Nickelodeon, the damn TV channel and shit. I'm like, oh, he's way in the future then. Yeah. But no, yeah, check it out. And that was one, and that's one thing I love about, like, you know, sitting down talking with people about movies and stuff. It's like the fan theories behind it. It's like, it just blows my mind. Just you hear certain things and you're like, get out of here.
Yeah, because I've done that. We talked about a couple of them on the last episode. But Enemy of the State, Eagle Eye. I was like, man, I think we got that.
Yeah, going on right now.
Yeah, I think we have that, because it's like, because look now, it's a lot of stuff, like they're actually finna transition. It's either Google or Apple. You'll be able to pay through facial recognition.
I don't want that shit.
I read it last week. I was like,
think of you walking by, you owe money on a bill or some shit like that. Your phone's sitting right there, you walk by, it facial recognize you, and you're like, shit, they got me. That's how they're gonna get your ass.
I was gonna schedule it for next week. Dang.
I didn't want it to come out this paycheck. I had something coming up, something else. You're freaking out. Damn, gas prices too, shit. Like, you got one of those tabs open at a gas station, it's like, boop. I'm like, fuck, $450 gas bill. Woo. Right out the door. Woo! Yeah, exactly.
Woo. Yeah, mine's
it's not that bad.
What do you spend a month now in gas?
It's enough to where I got to go ahead and cancel some other subscriptions and shit like that.
Is it?
Yeah.
Even with the car?
Yeah, you got to think I got a car payment now.
Oh, yeah, you didn't have it with the truck.
No, last time I filled up, I had a quarter of a tank. I filled up Friday, and thank God I get 40 miles to the gallon now. But I filled up Friday, and excuse me, what is it? It was $60. A quarter of a tank still in there, and it was still $60. Gas was like $4.60.
Woo. Yeah.
Like my wife wanted an above ground pool. I got her not even an inflatable, the fold out walls. I'm like, yeah, this is it. This is what you want in life. It's gas and luxury, a little bit or whatever.
You have to, man.
But she ain't hot. She ain't hot out there.
Oh yeah, she can go. It's filled up.
Yeah, it's filled up.
Hey, go jump in. I was like, man, I gotta stop letting my truck get all the way down to E. And so last time I did that, it took $105.
Oh shit!
To fill it up, and this isn't even premium. This is 87. And so I was like, okay, I'll set a reminder once it get to.
That's how you know people's level of income, though. You watch people at the gas station, you're like, what octane they getting over there? Yeah. That motherfucker's getting 97? 97?
Yeah.
Yeah, he must be a lawyer or a doctor.
Only thing I use that in is the premium. I had to put it in the bike. You can't run 87 in the bike. I tried it one time. I was like, I'm not finna pay this much. This should be. Actually, it was right when I got it, which I knew because of the high compression. Yeah. In the sport bikes. And but I put something in there when I think right after I got that bike. And she was acting up.
Yeah.
She was like, boom, boom, boom,
beatboxing, not even like a zoom.
Then I'm going, I try to hit it, and she was like, bitch, you playing.
We get there when we get there.
But I last filled it up Friday. It was just over a quarter of a tank. It took like about $44 to fill it up out on base.
Damn, for a bike?
No, for the truck. Yeah, to fill it back up. Because I'm trying to keep it from hitting half. Because if it hits half, I know I won't fill it back up until it's going to be over half when I fill it back up. And that's going to...
That's how I used to be with my Tundra. I'd be like, nah. Then it's like, I'd be like, let me tell you something. I love my Tundra, but if I get another truck, it'd probably be something that has the smallest damn motor out there with the smallest ass tires. Because I had Tundra on some 36s.
Oh, yeah.
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 Yeah, I know what you mean.
She was drinking gas. It was like quarter of a tank to work. Or there and back was a quarter of a tank. So every 4 days I was filling that bitch up. And I was just, that's why I had to sell my truck. Just because I'm like, fuck, man. The gas payment alone is a car payment. I might as well get a new car because I'm rolling around in 2015.
Yeah, because right now I mapped it out. One of my credit cards, I was like, okay, I'm going to isolate this card just for just for gas, just to see what I'm spending in gas. I'm right at subtract $17 because I used that card to put gas in the bike one day in the midst of me doing this trial.
Yeah.
I'm right at about 300 in about 325 bucks a month.
Yeah.
In gas. And
damn,
I wanted those all-terrain tires. Because when I got the truck, they had a set on there, but they were wore out.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, I got to get some tires. Kept putting it off. Grabbed the nail, got it plugged. I was like, oh, I got to get it. So I went and got a set of the all-terrains and put on there, and I was like,
that's just expensive too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
just really expensive.
They grab. So, but I don't know. I barely drive my car. Like I gotta put 2 tires on it. Now I gotta take the rims off of it. But I drove it yesterday, like to my where'd I go? Oh, to my sister's house and back. But I don't know. I've been thinking about selling it.
Like, the truck,
my car.
Oh, your car?
Yeah, just to.
Do you drive it?
Stuff. Here and there. Cause I got to put 2 tires on the front. My daughter had it.
Yeah.
When before, cause she just got a car, but
is it paid off?
Oh yeah.
Oh, put that shit on storage insurance.
Yeah.
Storage insurance, and then whenever you want to drive it, then put it back to regular insurance. If it's just gonna sit in your yard and stuff like that, it's like you could get storage insurance pretty cheap. Because it's always nice to have a backup. You never know what's gonna happen.
I know that's what the thing that keeps.
And
me
if
from
it's paid off, just that's what I would just store.
Because I actually bought it cash when I brought it.
Even better.
I was just like, man, I needed the car because my car prior to that, I had a Grand Prix What, 2000 something Grand Prix GT. The head gasket blew on it, so I was like, I sold that. And I got my first bike, which is the 600 RR Honda.
Yeah.
Had that because I was married then, and had we had the family vehicle, so I was like, I could just ride the bike to work.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I was like, okay, I gotta get a car. I gotta get a car now. So I sold the bike, and this car was cash, and sold the bike and bought the car, and been had it since. That was 2015, and I'm talking about, this still runs good. Granted, I need to do like a little tune up on it, but
yeah,
it still fires up. Sounds like a typewriter sitting there running, heat, AC work in it. But that's the thing that keeps me from selling. I was like, man, if anything goes wrong, because I don't owe much on my truck now.
But still, you know how expensive shit is to fix?
I was like, anything goes wrong, I got the backup car. That car is there, and it's paid off. So, like, it was there. I had to drive it 2 years ago. Went to leave out in the truck. Turning out on the main road on Fairfield.
Yeah.
I was like, what's that sound?
Your tire.
It was like a I was like, immediately I thought about it. I was like, torque converter just fried.
Damn. Yeah.
I was like, I was headed to run errands. It was a Saturday. I went straight to Amco Transmission on Davis Highway. Got there, left it there, got my sister to pick me up. Guy was like, we'll check it out, give you a call. Turns out the factory torque converter shredded. The fans on the inside shredded. And I got there in time enough that the medical particles didn't get through the front pump of the transmission. Yeah. So I saved the front pump on it. I still end up paying like $5,000. They did a custom rebuild and went through it. The shift kit and all like that. So
shit, sounds like we're in the wrong business.
I know, right? I know. I jumped in the car and was driving the car. I don't think I had gotten the bike yet. No, I hadn't got the bike yet. But I was in the car, driving the car and stuff like that. Got heat AC.
Yeah, see.
And she's old school, but she's still
that's one thing I do love about old school cars and stuff like that. And I'm looking at getting an old school car. I won't mind getting one year 89 because that's the year I was born.
Okay.
Something badass and cool. I was looking at a small Volkswagen Rabbit.
Really?
Like the old school ones. Just something old school. It doesn't necessarily have to be that, but I want just something small engine, old school hatchback, or just whatever. They're just easy as shit to fix.
They are.
Like so much room underneath the hood. Like I used to have this blue truck, and it had a V6 Vortec. It was a 95, I want to say.
Okay.
And it was just like, it took me to change my alternator, no lie, probably like about 15 minutes, not even.
Oh yeah, because Rousing's right on top.
I used to take a crowbar and then push back my tensioning pulley for the belt.
Yeah.
Take the tensioning pulley off, like just hit the ratchet on the alternator really fast, pull that bitch out, throw it to the side, put the new one in, plug it in and stuff, because you got that one wire.
Yeah, because it's 2 bolts in the wire.
Yeah. Freaking pull that tensioning pulley back up, pull the wrench, boom.
Ready to go.
And it's just like these newer cars, man. It's like, you touch a spark plug, it puts your whole car down forever because you're like, oh, you need a computer to refurbish it and shit, or whatever it's called.
Reconfigure it. Yeah.
Reconfigure the computer.
We gotta, and how they come in. The guy walks in. He has the clipboard.
Yeah.
Oh well. Let me rephrase that. Now they have the iPad. They walk.
I hate that shit.
They be like, so what we pulled up here is your spark plug's out, but the computer's controlling the fire into the spark plug. So what that means is we're gonna have to reconfigure the computer to match the new spark plugs, run that back through. So with labor, we're looking at $3,200 for spark plugs.
Not even all of them, just one of them, sir.
Yeah,
it's like, what?
I'll tell you what.
I'll let it misfire. I'll drive it till it blows up.
Yeah, just give me the key.
I'll figure it out.
Yeah, let me think about this. Decide if I want to, sell my house or get the car fixed. So
I remember they used to do that shit whenever, like, going to Jiffy Lube or something. Whenever I was younger, and so I don't go there no more. But Jiffy Lube, they come out. They'd have, like you said, the clipboard and shit.
Yeah,
they'd have like 5 different smudges on there. All right, that's what your oil looks like. That's what your alternator fluid looks like, and that. alternator fluid. I don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Radiator fluid. Yeah, radiator fluid. Yeah. But he said, these are all what you need. A new air filter, a new oil filter. You need this. And I'm like, bro, I just asked for an oil change. Like, is the car running fine?
Yeah.
Is it running fine? $25. Get me the hell out of here, please. Like, shit.
Yeah, it was all that agitates me too. Like, I literally took my truck in this one place. I won't put them on blast. I won't do it. But I took it there, oil change. I was like, and I even filled it out. Yeah. That's the bad part. I filled it out. Only thing I checked was oil change. I go back. One thing, I could drop my truck off early.
Yeah.
And I went on to work. I was like, okay, they should be calling about lunchtime. Didn't call. I was like, okay, it's 2:30. I get off at 4. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna call. And he was like, oh, it's ready. I was like, nobody called. He was like, we've been busy running around. I was like, all right, I understand. Get up there.
Shit. Yeah. I hate that. Your car's been ready for like 2 hours now. We just haven't had time to call you. I'm like, what the fuck? Text me.
Yeah. Yeah. I get there and he was like, okay, it's gonna be, I think it was like $86. I was like, for oil change. He was like, oh, we saw your wiper blades were kind of worn out, so we went ahead on and replaced them. I was like, I didn't tell y'all to do that. I said oil change. I literally checked off the box just for oil change. He was like, well, we saw they were old, so we just went ahead on and put new ones on there. I was like, where the old ones at? I put them back on. I was like, get your blades back. He was like, we already threw them in the garbage. I was so hot, man. I was like, I did not tell you to do that. I was like, don't worry. You
do that shit
don't
on
have
purpose.
to worry about me coming back. Yeah,
they do that shit on purpose. First of all, if I go to take my car and fucking somewhere, don't change nothing. Like, don't even talk to me. If I go in for an oil change it. Then on my receipt say these are the things we recommend. Yeah. I just wanted to let you know that. Have a nice day. That's all they gotta fucking do.
Yeah.
Not like try to trap. You know how like you're sitting in the chair, you're like, because I try to go early, I'm fucking still half asleep and shit. I'm just like, here's my keys, leave me alone. And then I'm falling asleep in the chair waiting on them and shit. And then they come at you and I'm like, I'm fucking tired, bro. I don't feel like talking about this. And they try to do that shit so they could, like, you're so tired and they try to get you.
Just be like, whatever.
I really need it. How much is it? They changed my bushings. They got me one time. They changed my bushings. I don't give a shit. Tire Kingdom.
Shameless plug.
They changed the bushings and they were like, oh, you need your whole front end redone on bushings and shit. A $12 bushing, but it's like for all the parts, for the labor and everything. Yeah, it was like $600. And I'm like, he's like, look at it. I'm like, they probably, like, I was walking back to my chair. I'm like, they probably loosened that shit up before I even walked out there. And like, look at your shit. It's like, it was shaking and shit. Like, you need new bushings. And I'm like, they don't even look bad. I'm like, oh, fuck. And I don't, you know enough about cars, but it's like I didn't know that particular shit about cars. So, I mean, I was just like, all right, if I need it, like, fuck, man, at that point, I was like, just leave me alone. Change the shit. Like, change the shit. We've been talking about this for 30 minutes now. Change the shit. Get out of my face. Let me go sit down and watch Jerry on the damn, TV you guys have in the waiting room and shit. And just hurry up. Change it. And I'm like, I'm fucking never coming back to this place again.
Yeah, I didn't,
Let me pay for the shit, and then you tell me afterwards and give me the paper. And just say, hey, this is what we recommend.
I was just going to say, whatever happened to the recommendation box? And they put it all in there instead of putting you on the spot. And then want to give you this look when you're sitting there deciding if you're going to get it fixed. Like,
you need it, don't you?
You're not paying for it. Like, whatever. Man, give me my damn keys so I can go.
Driving home, my steering wheel shaking and shit. I'm like, this car ride's fine.
So when you were a kid, what was one of your most memorable accidents between like you and a brother or sibling or
So one of my most memorable accidents, I wasn't necessarily a kid. I was 22 years old, and I started trail riding. That's whenever you get like a mountain bike that has like shocks on the front end, back end, and stuff like that. And then it's like you go down drops and all that other cool shit. I was never really good at it. I was just good with riding in the dirt on the back of the trail because I don't have good balance at all. So like sometimes it's like the trail would have these parts to where it's just like a narrow 2x4. Yeah. And you're just riding on a little 2x4 bridge. I'm like, yeah, I'll fucking fall off. I'll die. But I was okay with going down the ramps and stuff. And then we were hitting these two ramps. It was out in Santos. I want to say that was the name of it, right outside of Ocala. Okay. And then they put a whole bunch of drops in there, like this thing called a vortex, a whole bunch of cool wooden shit and stuff. They even had drops to where they were like 30 feet, and I'm like, nah, that's not for me. But I was like, I'll go down these 2 wooden ramps. They had 3 of them. It was called Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and Baby Bear.
Really?
So yeah, I hit all 3 of them and stuff like that. Fine, everything. And I was like, I've done this shit before. I'm a pro. Like, you know, had my shin pads on, because that's one of the worst things. If you're biking, your foot hits off that shin pad because they got like these little metal spikes for grip because you go through the mud and shit sometimes. Woo! That pedal comes up and hits you in the shin. You're like, I don't want to do this shit no more. I'm done. I don't want to do it no more. So I had my helmet on, shin pads. I'm like, yeah, you never know what could happen. So I'm out there riding, fucking killing it, like little 1 foot jump. I'm like, whoa, feeling like a badass. Boom. And I'm like, all right, let's go down Mama Bear, Papa Bear, and like all the bears and stuff. And then we went down one and we kept hitting it and stuff like that, getting like little practices to get better. I want to say it was Papa Bear I was going down.
Okay.
And then, which that one's like about 8-10 foot drop. And then went to go down that shit, freaking going up to it slow. I don't know why I was riding up to it slow. I was just riding up to it slow, and then I kept like swerving left to right, and then I swerved to the left. Then I got right to the top, and there's like a small bump. Went to swerve to the right. The only thing that fucking turned was my handlebars. And then it was like on the part to where I was like turning and going to drop at the same time, like a drop into it.
What?
Flew over my handlebars, and like at that point, you know you fucked up. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, yeah, I don't know if I'm going to survive this, or like, I'm probably going to break something. Went over the handlebars. Then I'm like, fuck, man, I'm going to hit the wooden ramp. Like, it's slow motion in my head. And I'm
insert the one thing from the it was a gift, but it was like, at this moment Tony knew he fucked up.
And yeah, exactly. And then it's like slow motion and everything, and then my hands and everything went to the left because I was going on my right shoulder, and I'm like, I fucking can't move. I can't stop myself. I can't bring my hands down. Hit the fucking ramp, bounced off the bottom of the ramp. I bounced like a couple times, bounced off the bottom of the ramp. I went up in the fucking air again, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, what the fuck? Like, my head kept turning. I'm like looking all around and stuff. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, oh, at least my face is going to hit the sand. It ain't going to hurt. It ain't going to hurt too bad. And I thought I was going to hit, my whole body was going to hit the sand. Fucking hit the dirt. My leg went whack right on the side of the wood. My foot, the bottom part, it hurt like a bitch. My leg instantly went on fire from that point. And then it was like, you know how it's like something makes you sad and you're tired? Like, do we got to do this again? Yeah, my ass bounced again. And I'm like, oh my God, I don't want to do this no more. And then I finally, on that other bounce, I was like, boom, I fucking just dropped. And then I'm just like, and then I went, I sat up like a zombie really fast. You know, like just pop up and shit like that. Like crazy scared. And then I'm like, fucking leg was on fire. I was freaking out and everything. I'm like, no. My buddy was like, try to walk it off. I'm like, bitch, my fucking leg's on fire. Like, I think I broke that shit. You're going to have to call somebody. You're going to have to call. We were out in the middle of like to where nobody could really get to us. Damn. He's like, just try to walk it off. I'm like, get the fuck out of my face. I'm freaking out right now. I'm like, my leg. Oh my God. And then, fucking 22 years old, I felt like crying. I felt like fucking crying. That shit hurt so bad. And then I was just like, and then somebody else came by and said, bro, are you all right? He seen the pain on my face. Because my buddy was just like, okay, rocking on his bike all nervous and shit. I'm like, bro, I'm fucked up. Like, all you gonna do is that? Like, you don't want to help check me out and shit? And then I'm like, I'm good. I just gotta. Then the pain finally went away. I probably fractured some shit. I was like, I can't go to the hospital.
You never got to look?
I got no, hell no. I didn't have the insurance at the time. I was just working at a sporting goods store and shit like that. Okay. They don't give you insurance. Well, they gave you insurance as a full-time employee. I didn't want to pay for it. Let's be honest about that.
We're just gonna put it all out here, right here.
Who's wasting their drinking money on that at 22? So I was like, all right. So I went limping. I limped back to the car, threw my bike up. I'm like, fuck this. My bike's all like one tire's one way. I'm like, what the fuck happened to this shit? $1,500 bike. I'm like, what? I was fucking going in the trash now. Damn. I was pissed. I'm like, I'm done with this shit. Never biking again. Then I finally went get home. My buddy said, let me keep your bike. I'll tighten everything down and shit like that for you. I'm like, whatever. I was like, keep the motherfucker. And I pulled out of his driveway and I sped up, trying to drive. I had stick shift. That was the worst fucking part. My leg felt like it was broken and I had stick shift. I was in my 2008 Volkswagen Rabbit and I was just like, fuck, every time I'd have to press the gas. And then get home, I'm limping in the house. My dad just looks at me and said, I fucking told you. I told you fucking around out there, you're gonna hurt yourself. And I'm like, I don't even want to hear this shit right now. I didn't tell him that. I'm like, all right, whatever, Pop. Just walking in the house. I'm like, I gotta get ready for work and shit like that. So never got it checked out. Probably took 1.5 years to heal up, because I always felt pain in the bottom of my foot. After a while, I was walking on it fine and stuff, but it's like I always felt a weird pain in my arch, and I'm like, yeah, it's fucked up. I don't know, but it's like not disformed or anything like that, so I'm pretty happy about that. But I feel like I just probably fractured something, so they probably would have put my foot in a boot. I'm not a doctor, so I don't know, but never got it checked out. But that was probably like one of my worst accidents ever. And then as of right now, you guys, my bike is still in the garage with flat fucking tires, because that ruined biking for me at that point.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
I still went a few times, but I didn't go on no damn trials. I just did regular street riding after that. I'm like, all right. I was just borrowing my friend's street bike after that. I'm like,
I got it's a classic. I call it a classic because it was back. I was probably like 10 or 11, but we had just moved into a house, my mom's house, and me and my little brother, we were out. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was Super Bowl. It was Super Bowl Sunday, and we were out in the yard playing. My stepdad, his friends, he had a few friends over there watching Super Bowl, and they're chilling. I wasn't studying sports at that time, watching it. So I'm me and my little brother outside. We were on the bikes at first, but we was like, let's make bow and arrows. And my mom has trees in the yard, and some of them are like, it has like low branches, you can tell. So we popping some off. I don't even remember where we got the we found some string though that made the bow. So I was like, let's make arrows. Let's find some hard enough sticks and make arrows. Yeah. So by this time, I'm full-fledged a Black Robin Hood out there. Like I'm out there. I got a little knife. I done cut the extra leaves and stuff off of it, and I'm sharpening up the edge, and then I cut a slit in the back so it'll fit. I'm a test fit. Like I'm full-fledged out there. So I was like, let's try aiming at each other. Let's see who bow works the best. So my mom's house sits on 2 lots, so it's big enough. Oh, he was, we got one of our guests I just knocked over. You good? You cool?
Sorry, Bob. Yeah, Alien Bob.
My fault. But the house sits on 2 lots, so in the front yard is big enough we can go on. Like he was on one end, I'm on the other end. So I was like, just aim it up and shoot it. So we'll see who's flies the best. Yeah. We're out there. We've made like 5 arrows each. So we're out there shooting it, and we'll run over, get out the way and stuff like that. The arrow hit the ground. I was like, okay, that's all right. And I had this one arrow that was like, I said, I saved it for last. I was like, I called it my golden arrow. Yeah. Like I'm out there.
Was that the best arrow you made?
It was the best one. Yeah. Had the point was like, it was sharp. It was like, it was perfect. I was like, I'm in full archer mode now. So he's on the end. He had moved from by the house right here by the fence dividing the other house, the yard. He had moved by the tree. So I like catty-cornered him. So I was still facing him. So I'm like on the side of the house. He's like by the mailbox now. It's still the same distance. So I put that arrow on and I pull it. Like I looked at him and then I pulled it, aimed up like just right. I got it just right. And pulled it back and let it go. Tony, and I tell you, this arrow sailed perfect. The thing that pissed me off the most when I got older and looked back at it, I was like, who wouldn't move if an arrow's coming at you? If an arrow's coming at you, he stood there. And so the arrow sailed perfectly. Like I'm looking at it and the arrow was like, it was just like this. And I'm looking at it come down. And in a split second, I looked at the arrow, looked at him. I was like, this is finna hit him. He's looking at the arrow. The arrow comes down. Boom. Catches him dead in the tear duct of his eye. and so if you're in the black culture and you're out there playing and doing something you're not supposed to be doing,
you fucking run.
If one of you get hurt, your first instinct, if they start crying, your first instinct is to run and catch them and try to cover their mouth.
No, so, I know. I had to do that shit with my little brother. Yeah, I'll tell you the story next.
I took off running. When it hit him, and he grabbed his eye, and the arrow still sticking out, and then he grabbed the arrow and snatched it out, and he was like, he started running in circles. Like, when I tell you, it felt like my soul left my body. I struck out running. I get over there to him. My dad and them's in the living room, so I'm trying to catch him and like shield him from the window so they won't see him yet. I was like, "What happened? You all right? You all right?" He looked at me. He had his hand over his eye. He was crying. He was like, "You got me in the eye." I was like, "Well, shake it off. You all right? Just shake your head." He was like, "It hurt. It hurt." I saw one regular tear come down, and the next tear was blood. Oh my God, Tony! I was like, "My mom finna kill me."
That is the moment Bobby-E knew he fucked up.
Yeah, that was. I was like, hearing it now.
Yeah,
hearing Kevin Hart now, that was fitting back then because I said, "Oh my God, she's gonna kill me! She's gonna fucking kill me!" But yeah, man. Oh my God, when I saw the blood tear come down, I was like, "Oh my God, he has to go to the hospital." I was like, man, and my mom, with her cat-like hearing, she heard him initially cry. She had just hadn't made it to the door yet, so when she made it to the door, was right after the blood tear come down, and she came to the door and was like, "What happened?" I was like, my stomach was like, oh my God, man. I was like, I said the stick. I didn't say arrow.
Yeah.
I said the stick stuck out of the eye.
Changing the whole story around, changing everything.
I said, he ran into the stick and it stuck him in the eye. She was like, "What stick?" And my stepdad, they come on. I was like, he went up to her and she saw the blood immediately because my mom has a thing about seeing blood. Immediately started freaking out. So cut the story down some. Man, they had to take him to the hospital.
Did he need stitches or anything, or did it just did it bust something?
Got 2 stitches, right? Because the arrow hit him right where his tear duct is at.
Yeah,
and then it so it kind of split his eye a little bit, so they had to stitch there.
He can still see out of it, right?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He can still see. But yeah,
I don't get that. You say you're the older brother between the two, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So that shit's always happening because, like, you say black culture. I think that's just like an ethnic culture thing in general, like covering up your brothers.
Yeah.
Just because it's like one time me and my little brother were playing soccer. We were at my dad's friend's house, and they had a soccer ball out there. I'm like, "Oh yeah, join, stand right over here. Let's kick that shit," and stuff like that. Because we were waiting. It was late at night. And the same exact shit you said. It's like, I kicked the ball. I'm like, my thought process in my head, I'm like, I'm going to kick the ball. It's going to hit this kid in the fucking face. What happens? I kick the ball, and then the ball curves, because you know how you can make a soccer ball curve? It curved perfectly, swerved back around. He just stood there and watched it, and then his head just goes back, and all you hear is tsh, and the ball bounces right off his face. And then he started like, I knew, like before, as soon as I seen the ball connect and he could react like you did, I was sprinting down the other side of the field. I'm like, yo, are you okay? Are you okay? Wiping his face off. I had my mouth acting like, I had my hand over his mouth. I'm like, it's okay. Man. I'm like, oh shit, you're fine. Nothing hurt. Let me see your nose. It's not bleeding. It's not broken. You're good. I was like, oh shit. I was looking around for my dad. I'm like, where's my pops at? Like, I hope nobody's seen that shit.
Yeah.
But nah, like you said, like knots just take over your stomach, and
yeah,
like,
it was like that. Let me pause for a minute. I may have an emergency going on.
No, do your thing. That's fine.